Hey gamers, welcome back to GamerSpot, your go-to channel for all things gaming and fun on the internet. We've brought another fresh video of the top 10 best story-rich games. So, without further ado, let's get started. Life is Strange, True Colors. Like the rest of the series, it's an adventure game with an episodic storytelling structure. As Alex walks into the gorgeous mountain hamlet of Haven Springs, she's aware that her abilities allow her to perceive other people's deep emotions, which occasionally materialize as wild outbursts. When her brother is killed in a flimsy accident in the mines, it's up to Alex to solve the mystery of his death while embracing her skills to discover the answers she craves. The Wolf Among Us. We could include any number of Telltale Games interactive stories, but it's the combination of iconic folklore and fairy tale figures set in a nightmarish atmosphere that elevates The Wolf Among Us to immediate classic status. This is a fantasy realism crossover in which fable characters live in a gritty 1980s New York, concealing their actual appearance using a commodity known as glamour. With characters ranging from Snow White and Belle from Beauty and the Beast to Ichabod Crane and Dee and Dumb Tweedle, you take on the role of Bigby Wolf, a big bad wolf on a mission to investigate a string of fairy tale character murders. Her Story, a classic story-rich title in which you sit in front of an outdated police computer watching bits of the suspect's testimony instead of examining crime scenes and interrogating suspects. You find snippets by entering keywords into a database search field, so the order in which you examine the testimony is entirely up to you. Depending on the leads you pursue, you may receive the beginning, middle, or end of the story and form incorrect conclusions. Her Story combines grainy full-motion video with an isolated subject to create an unsettling atmosphere as you examine old film of the subject and try to make sense of her story. Inscription. This horror game is comparable to card games such as Hand of Fate and Slay the Spire, in which Mystery Game Master forces you to play a roguelike card game in his secluded log cabin. As you go across 3 boards to beat him and escape, you sacrifice animals to play even stronger beasts. But before long, the cards start talking to you, forcing you to get up and explore the cabin, delving into its escape room-style challenges to discover a way out. Kentucky Route Zero, a magical adventure game set in a blue-collar hamlet in a long-lost highway. The gameplay is governed by speech choices, which gradually reveal a bleak and elegiac tale of tragedy and redemption as you take on the role of truck driver Conway running the final delivery for his failing corporation. Finding power and driving into the mundane beats of this narrative is fundamental to Highway Zero. Instead, it focuses on the personalities you meet and the adventure you take. God of War. Who would have guessed that God of War would be released on PC? The previous PlayStation 4 exclusive changed the camera perspective, slowed down the hectic gameplay, and added RPG aspects to the action-adventure genre. But the God of War has matured into Dad of Boy. After the fall of the Greek pantheon, we accompany Kratos and his son Atreus as they strive to fulfill Kratos' second wife's ultimate wish to scatter her ashes from the highest mountain in the 9 kingdoms. Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a massive open-world game that takes place before the events of the original game. You take on the role of Arthur Morgan, a member of the Van der Linde gang. RDR2 examines the delicate line between survival and morality in a scrappy and desperate struggle to defend your impoverished family from the oncoming menace of a civilized West, where outlaws are strangled by the increasing grasp of law and order. Its story is a new high point for AAA video games, depicting tragic individual stories against the wonderfully detailed backdrop of an ever-changing Western gaming world. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Before you begin playing these, you should be familiar with these scrappy space mercenaries. This has the advantage of not wasting time introducing each member of the gang, instead focusing on presenting a compelling story and cracking laughs as the Guardians movie and comics. The tale of the Guardians of the Galaxy is deeper than its surface suggests. It delves into each character's loss and how illogical acts might damage the cosmos. We enjoy how each character has their own motivations, but Guardians of the Galaxy is also an action-packed frolic with complex level designs and thrilling boss encounters. Firewatch. This is a first-person adventure game in which you play as Henry, a new fire lookout stationed at the Shoshone National Forest, taking orders and communicating with his supervisor Delilah through a walkie-talkie. With grappling gear and a map in hand, you can explore a beautiful stretch of Wyoming wilderness, unraveling the enigmatic and often terrifying occurrences that occur in the secluded woodland. Firewatch was one of the year's greatest games, hailed for its powerful story delivered through casual conversation. It's still one of the most unique story games to date, a peaceful, ambient experience you'll want to play all in one sitting. Disco Elysium. This one is a detective game with a rich conversation at its center, and its deceptively basic plot about a murder inquiry in a poor community quickly unravels into a magical realism Marxist class battle. This RPG, one of the best indie games to come out in recent years, is full of surprises as you investigate a murder, shape your character by making speech choices, using questionable goods, and practically recreating your mentality from the ground up. Few games allow you to amass skill points or punch a child in the face, but Disco Elysium does. That's all for now. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with your friends and family. To increase engagement, like and comment on the video, and subscribe to watch our future videos. We'll see you in the following video. Keep playing in the meantime.